Hey, I'm Jason Miller, lead pastor of South Bend City Church, and on behalf of our congregation, we'd like to welcome you to the Tribune. This place was built in the 1990s to house a new flagship printing press for the South Bend Tribune. However, the internet came along shortly after, the need for print declined, the press was dismantled, and this place sat empty for years. Now, however, this beautiful structure in the heart of downtown is being revitalized. Our church purchased the building in 2022 and began renovations right away. And then in March 2024, we moved in and it became our church's home. But you should know we're not just doing this for the sake of our church. We're doing this because we want the Tribune to be reactivated as a place for the people of South Bend. We want to work together on common ground for the common good, knowing that when we gather with neighbors and partners, we can help our city flourish. Come on, let's show you around. What was the loading dock area has been converted into a courtyard. Think of it like a living room outdoors for our church on Sundays and for events during the week. And if you look closely, you'll notice that we've got some design elements here that are meant to make a space that's both wise and welcoming for everyone. So for example, you'll see some power outlets on the poles for neighbors who need a charge. And at night, this area is widely and warmly lit. As you enter the building, you might notice our dedication plaque. The story here is that during the same time that our church was giving to the project and showing up for work days and putting some sweat equity into the building, we were also collecting written prayers from the members of our church. These prayers express our hopes for the kind of church that we feel called to be here in the city, and also hopes for what this building will represent for our city as a place of flourishing for everyone. We gathered up those written cards of prayers, and we actually buried them here before new concrete was poured. So you're actually stepping over these desires and hopes as you enter. And the plaque here summarizes these prayers with our hope that this will be a place where the love, grace, and peace of God are known. Next, you'll enter our lobby and find our gathering area. So this is where we gather on Sunday mornings for church. One of our favorite features here is these big, beautiful windows that we had installed when we bought the building. They just help us remember that even while we're gathered inside here, we're a part of this beautiful city. We gather for singing songs and praying prayers and hearing from the scripture and receiving the Eucharist, exploring all kinds of ways that following Jesus leads us out into the real world. We even do open floors sometime where members of the community can share with the rest of the community. But one of the most important features about how we gather is the way that this room is shaped. So we gather in the round for a particular reason. One of our mantras is everyone an icon. And we really believe that every human being is a bearer of the image of God. What that means for us is that when we gather to search for God, we also want to have a way of seeing each other across this room. The room also has a mezzanine. The mezzanine does double duty. It serves as a standalone space for casual meetups and co-works, but it also provides a way to be a part of what's happening down here on the main floor, but with a little bit of distance if that feels safer for you or a loved one. Now, you should know as well that even though we have the room set up in the round for Sunday mornings, it's also easily reconfigured into a more traditional setup. So the stage is modular, and we've got a separate PA system at the north end, and that allows for the whole room to shift north for things like film screenings. We've hosted fundraisers for nonprofit partners, and partner events like Idea Week have happened here. Idea Week is a killer festival for entrepreneurs, creators, investors, and others who want to be inspired by what's happening here in South Bend, and we love that that got to happen right here in this space. Now we're back in the other half of the main floor. On Sunday mornings, this is where our kids gather for kids ministry. It's safe and secure, and it's a great place for them to experience joy and creativity as they hear good news about God who loves them and who made them in God's image. One of our favorite features back here is that we asked our architects and contractor partners to preserve the history of the building. And so one example of that is this machine track that was part of the original printing press operation. We love that we still have that right here in the floor. Other things happening back here, the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Northern Indiana Corridor operate a club site here. We love the work that they are doing for kids and families. Our partners at Neighbor to Neighbor host a craft and chat session every week. It's a lunch that happens for mothers and their kids who've come here as refugees. Now, one thing you should know about all of this is even after we did our renovations and we moved in, this next part of the main floor wasn't finished yet. And then we found out that we had new neighbors joining us on the block. Not long after we acquired the property, we connected with the University of Notre Dame, who purchased the other Tribune building that's right here on the block. And then we were invited with the university to join them in a grant application with Lilly Endowment and partner with the Boys and Girls Clubs. This is a grant that helps universities envision a collaborative relationship, undertaking projects that help a city flourish. flourish. And we're so grateful to work with the University Lilly Endowment and the Boys and Girls Clubs for the funding that provided for this space. So here we've got these big kind of general purpose rooms, 5 and 6. During the week, again, Club Site operates here. Our partners operated a COPS and community luncheon in this space. In the weekends and on evenings, our church runs workshops back here as people want to go deeper into their faith. A little farther back, you'll see there was what was the ink depot. It's a dugout pit where they had ink takes, and it's below the grade of the main floor in case there was an ink spill. We were trying to figure out what to do with it. It turns out it makes for a fantastic basketball court. So you'll see that. We call it the pit today. You should also know that throughout the building, accessibility has been a huge priority for us. So that includes renovating elevators, newly installed ramp structures throughout the building, an adult changing table in our family restroom, and a newly installed lift in the pit. Our commitment to the common good includes some concerns around environmental stewardship. So we just finished installation of rooftop solar here at the building. That'll help our energy use here become far more sustainable. Now, when it came time to redo the signage on the building, we decided to honor the history and the heritage of this place. So yeah, this is the home of South Bend City Church. This is our project, but we're going to keep calling this the Tribune. We hope that it helps our church remember that we are more than a building, but we also want to remember that this building is here for more than just us. What you've seen so far represents an investment of something like $6 million, including $4.7 million committed from the members of South Bend City Church. We're doing this because we believe in our work as a church, following Jesus as a community of grace and peace for our city and the world. We're also doing it because we believe in stacking hands on common ground for the common good, and we've seen the power of what happens when we do that. The Tribune's being reimagined as a place for the people of South Bend, and we hope that whenever you come here, that you feel at home here. Now, in spite of all the work that you've seen, all the effort that's already been put into this, we're just getting started.